You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We take that button from Yee. I see everybody about to push it.
Well, I'm not doing nothing. I was moving it.
We are The Breakfast Club.
It's a
We
long
have a
one.
special guest in the building.
Why nobody's making eye contact with me? Y'all mad at me?
No.
Where we at?
Because she's playing stupid. We have Cipha Sounds in the building.
Yo, Cipha Sounds.
It's been a long time, man. Y'all never invite me up.
He's
Thanks
no
for having
longer
me.
banned. He's one of those people that says you never invite me, but he also never reaches out or anything.
True.
He was like, how come you haven't come to visit me? I'm like, you've never invited me.
I'm bad at inviting.
Well, it's no secret that everyone on The Breakfast Club was a co-host at one point, and you're the
Correct.
first person that one of us ever did a show with to come up here. You and Angela.
Yes,
Yee
Angela.
used to do a show together.
Correct. Yeah, she's my, I hate saying mentee, but you know, I taught her everything she knows. So.
Cipha told me that she was actually trash and that you had to work with her because she was so bad.
She was horrible.
It was awful at first.
Nah,
I never did radio.
Angela always been the best, yo.
That's not true.
Yeah,
it was pretty bad.
No. Okay, talking on the mic, broadcasting, you needed a little polishing, but coming with all of the news and you knew everything what was going on, like same like you are today.
You know, so the story that I tell is when I first started, Cipha was upset because we were at Shade 45 at Sirius.
Yeah.
He didn't pick me
No.
to be his
What is somebody
co-host.
else?
Who'd you
Nah,
pick? Who'd you
I
pick
didn't
over?
pick-
Who'd you
He
pick?
did not
I didn't
pick
pick
me.
nobody.
Oh.
It was the station it didn't even exist. We created the station.
Right.
So before we even started on air, Paul Rosenberg,
No, you
Eminem's
guys had
manager-
already started.
We did?
Yeah.
But
and
probably
I-
only like 2
and I
weeks.
it was a brand new station, and I was in the hallway, and they were auditioning people. They wanted a woman to be on with Cipha Sounds.
We had other
co-host.
girls try out or something?
Yeah, they said other people.
I don't remember them chicks.
You talking about Shade 45, right?
Yeah, Shade
Okay,
45.
okay.
And
Yeah.
so Paul Rosenberg actually was like, hey, why don't you, they're looking for somebody, why don't you try it out?
Yeah.
And so that's how I ended up with Cipha on the morning show. And he kept saying, I don't know who this girl is.
No,
I
I
don't
didn't
know why
say
they
that.
put her
Shut
in
up,
here."
yo.
And
I knew who you were.
then he put in Miss Info and did this whole thing like, who do you guys like better? And I'm
No, I
brand new
didn't.
at radio.
Damn,
Yes, you
that's
did. You don't
foul.
remember none
I
of this.
remember that.
Damn, that's foul.
I don't remember that at all.
And
But
then
it sounds like me.
Yeah. And then I was like, damn, that's kind of messed up. I'm up here with you. And, but
Nah, Angela was always my
things
girl.
worked out well.
Why all the Blasians though? That was the thing. Like you wanted a Blasian co-host. Is Miss
Yeah,
Info
that's the
Blasian?
only-
No.
not Blasian.
She's just full. What is
I
she?
think she's full.
She's Korean.
Yeah, she's full Asian.
full Asian.
Okay.
But she hangs around a lot of blue, so maybe that's why.
A lot
A lot
of
of
blood.
blood? What's blood?
Blasian,
The
the
blood
Blasian
and
part of
Blasian.
blood.
Oh, so
Yeah.
she's Afro-Asian.
That's where she start.
She's Blasian at Jace, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, gotcha. Do you miss radio?
I miss certain aspects of it. I don't miss the getting up early part. I'll tell you what I miss the most. Like being on on a Saturday for 2 hours just mixing, people going crazy when you playing all the hot joints, calling up, you know what I'm saying? I miss that part of it. But the coming up with topics every day and the drama, I don't miss.
So the morning show was never really your thing. So to speak.
No,
It
you
was in the
wanted it.
beginning. It was in the
I always
beginning.
want to know why you did morning because they were setting you up for nights or.
No, that was never gonna happen though.
He wanted more.
guess-
Where's your man going?
I guess you're right.
He's still there.
You're right. Yeah.
Right? That's what
But
I
that's
thought.
what they said. They said they would set you up.
In my long-term plan, I wanted to take over nights eventually. That's why I was being groomed that way, but he didn't go nowhere. So the mornings were the best next step for me because of my funny comedy aspect. So when we started the morning show, it was a comedy show. Literally, the name of the show was a premise of a joke. Like a black, a Puerto Rican, and a Jew walk into a radio station.
UK
Blank.
Fox.
Yeah, and the other guy, you hate.
Yes, I do.
So in the beginning, it was a comedy show, which I loved, but then towards the end, I didn't
Now,
like it.
here's a little fun fact.
Yeah.
Cipha Sounds was actually offered the morning show here before he was offered that morning show.
I don't
that
know if it was
true?
the morning show, but I was definitely offered a
yeah,
job.
it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
No, I would think it was
Afternoons.
It was afternoons,
It was
I
before
think.
they hired Envy.
Yeah.
Before they hired me, it was afternoons.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay, I just know that they offered you a show
Yeah.
Got a fun fact wrong.
here.
Well, I didn't want to leave because there's a lot of different reasons, but I'm loyal to a fault. So I didn't want to leave because I figured that was my home. I planted my seeds there, even though there was a lot more money being offered and a bigger position and stardom and fame. And,
I'm loyal, damn it.
yeah, but I didn't want to leave at the time. And then
But did they stay loyal to you when things went down or?
no. Not at all.
What do you mean things went down though? Like it was a few things. What in general?
Well, at first it started
Guys,
with
I
the
have
show.
a new comedy show on True
let's
TV.
talk about that for real
I'm
quick.
just saying
we
it
gotta
because
get
it's going to
into- we're
get
gonna
lost.
Yes,
No, it's
Cipha-
not.
No,
We're
okay.
gonna get all into that, but
All
It's
right.
called Laugh Mob's Laugh Track.
Yes.
It premieres Wednesday, January 3rd
I
at
just-
11 p.m.
I
It
just
already
wanted you to-
premiered.
That- it
It's
was
already
Jan-
been
that
on.
was
It's
my
on. I
birthday.
just wanted you to say it once before we get into the
No,
drama.
I've
Okay.
actually watched it because Yamanika's
Yeah,
on it. Yes.
yeah, very
Yamanika's
funny.
hilarious.
Very funny.
I did Smart, Funny, and Black with her with Amanda Seales.
Okay.
She's hilarious.
Now I was saying
Oh, so yeah.
we said that they did you dirty.
Yeah.
And we were asking how did they do you dirty?
So let's get into it because when we say they,
Yeah.
we can say it was you were at High 97.
But we don't know who over there did him dirty. So let's find out.
But it's where he worked.
Nobody, yeah, I don't, okay, nobody specific. It's just, well, first of all, I'll tell you to give you a piece of advice in your life. No matter how much you dedicate yourself to a brand or to a corporation, you're just a number on a piece of paper.
Absolutely.
So one day, your number might be up. No matter how much you put into that company, how much your blood, sweat, and tears, which I feel I did, through the process of a couple of different GMs and then the company merging with another company and another boss coming in who didn't know my history and my pedigree, I got lost in the sauce a little bit.
But let's explain to the people that when Cipha was working at Hot 97, I was working there as well. And I think me and you were probably the fill-in guys. Like,
Yes.
no matter what, we would fill in every shift,
yeah.
do every shift,
Can
every
do,
show,
able to do every
and
shift.
able to do every shift.
The only
every
show I couldn't do was K-Slay.
Right.
I could do the reggae show. I could do the new, the underground hip hop show. I could fill in for Angie.
You were two show.
Yeah.
The
Why
Eds,
couldn't you do the
middays,
drama
mornings.
hour?
I could tell he played records I never even heard of.
Oh,
yo.
got you.
I just didn't know them, the street records.
Yeah.
You know?
So Cipha was the guy that was he would do any show, knew how to do any show, and he was reliable.
Yeah.
When mornings ended at Hot 97 for me and Miss Jones, they hired you guys. Well,
Yeah.
hired Big from LA, and
Big
then they
Boy,
hired
yeah.
you right after, and it was going well for a while. And I thought it was great because this was your chance because you didn't put your heart,
Yeah.
blood, missed family events,
Yeah.
missed certain things for the radio station, and then
The Breakfast Club came
that
along.
happened to me. I was the same thing.
Yeah.
Did the Breakfast Club come along yet?
You came in like three
Yeah,
and
we
a
came
half
in.
years in.
Well, first they offered me a job. I left. I was like, Hot 97
Yeah,
ain't
you
gonna
out.
send no love to me. Pew, I'm going. But you decided to stay, and then
Yeah.
they let you go.
Yeah.
Why?
No, it didn't happen that way.
No, well, I
You did.
I
You
left.
skipped a
You
lot.
left.
people always say, because,
Well, they put Ebro in first.
yeah, that's
Skipping
a
a
long.
lot. Let him tell his story, please.
tried. Y'all kept-
Jesus
I kept
Christ.
asking
Look, you always want to let your Spanish brother tell his story. All right? Gosh.
NB,
I'm
Spanish would be
Charlamagne.
from
All right,
Spain,
all right,
by the
all
way.
right, all right.
Latino.
Nah, so I was there for we were doing good for I don't know 3 years. Then y'all came along, and then towards the end, they wanted us to do more drama type stuff, talk about artists and different. I don't like that. It's not my thing. My thing is jokes, funny, crack jokes, make people start off their day happy vibes. That's just me.
Why do you
And-
want y'all to do that? Because they thought that's what we do?
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
part of it.
Charlamagne
You know what I'm
brings
saying?
everything back to the Breakfast Club. But go ahead.
I mean, it's part of it.
Yeah.
If that's winning, then they're like, well, what are they doing that's winning? So maybe we need to do more of that. And I wasn't good at it. I'm not good at that. And then some power things happened, no pun intended, and people's jobs got shifted. So then when Ebro came, I should have left.
Right.
I should have just jumped ship right then. But I was saying I was loyal, I was scared. I didn't know where my career was going. And I kept just getting moved down.
But you were also
But-
doing comedy, by the way, on the side.
That's
in the
what I'm
midst
saying.
Of all this.
Doing stand-up on the side.
Listen, Hot 97 was 17 years of my life. Within that 17 years, I did mad other shit. Oh, stuff. Sorry. I do radio. No, I'm not supposed to curse.
It's okay.
You were A&R.
Yeah, A&R at Raucous Records, at Tommy Boy,
Didn't you
Star
break
Trek,
Rihanna?
Rockefeller. I helped break Rihanna. Yes.
On the replay using the video.
He was
I'm
in the video. His hands were in the
Mr.
video.
DJ.
His hands were in
Pon
the
the replay,
video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Rihanna, yo, that's my problem with the industry though, is because I don't brag, I don't boast. I just try to live my life, follow my dreams, and inspire people, right?
Rick Ross.
The amnesia.
Rick Ross too.
The amnesia in the industry is horrible, yo. Clips, Rick Ross, Sean Paul, Rihanna, and then records like Quiet Storm. Like I was Lil' Kim's DJ. I broke Quiet Storm in the tunnel. Look at the remix. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't just happen out of nowhere. There's connections. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of records I broke. We could take Simon Says, Pharoah Monch. You know what I'm saying? Most Def record, like Most Def and Talib Kweli records played on the radio because of me. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel people just forget. But I don't. Is it my fault? Do I not wear the flag enough? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I think it is. I think people forget, or they just simply don't know.
A lot of them don't know, and I don't care if people don't know. I just get mad at the people who do know, who act funny.
Yeah.
That's all. Like,
I mean, because I knew about Rihanna because you was in the video.
yeah, but the story with Rihanna is like, I was in there from day one when they were playing me these records. Mr. Morgan, who now runs OVO,
Mr. Morgan
was friends with her producers and her manager, and they gave me the record, and I started playing it on the radio without. She was nobody, nothing. Then it went to Def Jam when Jay-Z first became president, and they almost didn't sign her. I had a fight with Jay to sign her.
Jay-Z?
Yeah,
Really?
I had to fight with him. Like, we was in the 40-40, and I was like, he's like, the song is big, but I don't know about her. I was like, I'm telling you. I didn't know she was going to be this big.
Right.
I just knew she was talented, you know what I'm saying? I introduced Jay-Z to Damian Marley.
Hold on, I don't want to run past Rihanna thing.
Let's go back to Rihanna.
The story always is Rihanna was in her office. It was Jay, I think, Tata, and L.A. Reid.
Yeah.
And they would not let her leave until they signed her.
Yeah. That's an amazing story.
So that's not how it happened?
True?
No, it is true, but
okay.
the part where she got into the office
Was
you know what I'm saying? Like, I was not because of me. It's because of her talent. But I had
assisted.
a part, and people forget my parts.
Does she follow you on any social media?
Yeah,
She
Rihanna.
thanked him before. She thanked him several times.
Rihanna's the one who
gives it
didn't
up?
forget.
Right.
She gave me a big up one time on Instagram, like long,
She did, yep.
and put the picture where the day we met, like
Oh,
a
I
long
think I remember
thing.
that.
And she was like, if it wasn't for this man, you know.
She's a real one though.
She's super real.
I think Rick Ross too. You were the first person I heard.
I
Rick Ross
remember that
before.
because I was there with
broke
her.
Rick Ross,
Hustling
yeah.
Series.
Hustling, yeah. Broke that record.
Talk about that.
I was down in Miami hanging with my brother DJ Khaled, who's now maybe like a cousin.
Distant cousin a little bit. He still answers the phone.
You don't answer your calls no more?
Nah.
He doesn't?
Nah.
Really?
Khaled, come on.
So
Khaled.
that Khaled, that's messed
Well,
up, Khaled.
he doesn't answer my call because I don't have his number.
Okay.
So
You
you
don't
don't call
have
him.
Khaled's number?
I don't have Khaled's
Khaled
number.
answers. Khaled answers.
You don't have Khaled's number?
I don't, because I used to always call J1s because J1s is my boy, but he don't work with
J1's
Khaled no more.
All right.
But I don't got no problem with Khaled. I love Khaled.
Does he
But
follow you on social media?
he probably doesn't follow me.
No.
Is that what makes someone your
You could
friend?
DM him.
Let me ask you a question. Did he stop communicating with you after you got off the radio?
No, he didn't stop communicating. If I see Khaled, it's love.
Yeah.
I'm
And you
just
haven't
saying,
tried to reach
in
out
the-
to him. It's
in
not
the
like
beg-
he's...
I don't have
Yeah.
a reason to. I don't have no problem with him. I'm just saying, when the first time Khaled was ever on the radio in New York was because of me. Ever. Like, I gave him a guest slot on my thing. But he says that though.
Yeah.
It ain't like he don't remember.
I just hate how the industry acts funny when you're not on the radio. I've been fired 4 times, so I know. When you're not on the radio, they
Nah,
just like,
but they do. I mean, listen, the day I left the radio, I knew half my life was gonna change because all the music industry people just like
People don't
literally
need you,
write
per
you
se.
off.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm fine with that. I know the game. But I was already in my comedy world, so I didn't care about it. So now I'm combining the two worlds, and it's working out perfectly.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
So tell us about Rick Ross. You tell us.
So
about
yeah, I
Ross.
was in Miami. Khaled played me the record, and I mean, I brought that record home and went super bananas ham on it.
I remember.
And like, this is when you could play records over and over, like really break, when the DJs could break records before we had handcuffs on the radio. And I text Jay-Z. Me and Jay was doing a couple things. I texted, it was literally like either Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve. I was like, yo, I hate to bother you during the holidays, but there's this record out of Miami that I think is gonna be a monster record. You know what I'm saying? He wrote back, he's like, can you hit me on the 27th? You know, like, it's Christmas, yo.
Fair enough.
I don't celebrate holidays. I'm a 5%er, so it don't matter to me. Like, every time, that's why I got on the radio so much. When everybody took their little holidays off, I was there filling in because I didn't celebrate. So then I hit him before the new year. I said, yo, this is record. And I heard he yelled at all the A&Rs because at that time, everybody was recording in Miami, right? All the A&Rs were in Miami, all the artists, all the studios. And he yelled at his A&Rs like, why are y'all all down there and nobody's telling me about this record? You know what I'm saying? And then There was a bidding war, whatever, Rick Ross, and then he got signed to Def Jam.
Now, the story on that one is Myth Bleak introduced Rick Ross to Jay-Z.
Oh, maybe introduced him personally.
I don't know if it was personal, but put him on to Jay.
Nah, the first time.
Because Myth Bleak would say, and maybe I read this wrong, but he'd be down there a lot.
Yeah, he was down there a lot.
And he said he heard Ross and he told Hov about Ross.
So the only people that know is me and Jay. I have the email somewhere. Mm-hmm. But what do I care?
Right.
If me, Myth Bleak,
is it a big deal?
Yeah, am I trying to prove a court case? Like,
but you were the one playing it on the radio and broke it on the radio.
On the radio,
everybody
definitely.
know.
Yeah, Ross knows.
Even Clips record, the grinding record.
I knew that because Pharrell bigged you up for that.
Yo, I played that record in January.
And the record was confusing when it first came out because it was beats all over the place. It sounded a little
crazy,
disturbing.
yeah.
And that was one of those records.
I played that record, and I was playing that record since January. It popped Memorial Day of whatever year that was, 01 maybe, or whatever year. So that's how, from that I became an A&R at Star Trek for Pharrell. Mm-hmm. The whole second Clips album is all me. You know what I'm saying? It's not all me. It's the Clips and Pharrell. Yo, I wrote Chinese New Year, son. But I was there, like, I made, you know what I'm saying? I had a piece of the game.
Wow. So when did you know it was time to leave Hot? You said when
okay, I felt it was time to leave.
Well, before we go there,
okay.
One other thing that you were the first person I ever heard do was the podcast.
Yes.
You started on the podcast circuit very early.
Me and my partner that you hate.
I don't hate him. I just don't like him.
I don't particularly care for him either.
Nobody likes him.
But let's talk.
Oh, you don't like him either?
He's a curmudgeon.
I
don't like him.
He is a curmudgeon. He is a curmudgeon.
He likes to say a lot of sly stuff sometimes. Let's talk about the podcast and how you started the podcast.
Okay. The first hip-hop podcast ever in the game is the Juan Epstein podcast. First one ever. Now, the way podcast has grown today, rest in peace Combat Jack, Nori, Elliot, all these big hip-hop podcasts, I will say they all have given credit to the first hip-hop podcast, which is Juan Epstein. So that's one thing where the amnesia hasn't kicked in. For some reason, they all give credit. But there was no such thing as the hip hop podcast when we started. What was I didn't even know what it was.
I didn't know either.
So why'd you do it? Because you already had a morning show. So
no, we didn't have the morning show.
Oh, y'all didn't have. Okay, so that was the reason y'all did it.
So our boss put us together and almost forced us together and was like, "Yo, I have an idea for a show. I think y'all two would work well together."
It was a little shaky at first.
It was very shaky.
Rosenberg used to work at the station. He was hired to be Miss Jones's producer. Miss Jones hated him, but they already signed him over there, so he was just still there, just doing pretty much odd jobs.
Gotcha.
It's the truth. It's pretty much because
odd jobs, mopping up.
Mopping up.
We need to lay down some carpet.
Not mopping, but they were trying to create something for him because he wasn't a producer. So he started the late night show, which was the underground show, and then they put him and Cipha together.
Yeah, they thought we would do well together. So I was like, yo, we don't know each other. We have no chemistry. So he suggested we go in the back studio and just record ourselves together. And he goes, yo, let's put it out as a podcast. And I was like, what's a podcast? And he explained it, whatever. And then that blew up to its own thing. You know what I'm saying? Its own beast.
Right. I remember when you guys first started, he actually reached out to me, and I didn't know him, and he was like, I just want to ask you, how did you manage to get along with Cipha? Because we're having some issues, and I know you and him got along great.
Wow.
That's funny.
I mean, when you guys first started, it was difficult. I know.
Yeah.
And he definitely was like, what did you do so that you guys got along?
Yeah, we had a lot of issues, but we grew. We cool. I'm cool with everybody, man.
Right.
And
I'm here. I'm at the Breakfast Club.
They started the show, I think it was called like the show after or something like that. It was after Miss Jones's show, or no, before Miss Jones's show or something like that. Or was it?
No, it was before Big Boy.
Before Big Boy.
Before Big Boy, yeah, the pre-morning show.
The pre-morning show.
But yeah, that was Ebro's plan to like, he wanted us. The company wanted Big Boy, obviously. He's a superstar. We're in LA and other markets. So they put us on beforehand to make sure there was some local flavor. Because people need to know, do I wear my Timbs today? Do I wear my Carhartt? Or do I, you know what I mean?
Like my Air Forces, right?
Yeah, New York has got a certain way to live. We don't just hop in the garage and get in the car. You got to like, are we going on the train? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Tim,
they needed some.
And to Cipha's credit, he definitely tried to bring me there with him
right away
as well. When he left Sirius, we had our morning show together. It was the Cipha Sounds Effect. I was on there, and when he got the offer to go to Hot 97, that's when he had Ebro reach out to me and make me an offer as well.
But like before they even reached out, I was like, yo, I need Angela. Like that's my show, me and Angela. and they didn't offer her enough bread or whatever the reason was, and she decided not to take it, which I was super upset about. But look where she is now. Like the show we had together became her show.
Right.
And then she started making all this noise. Then she goes against me.
Well, it wouldn't work if she went because well, I guess she's black because you did a black and Puerto Rican.
I guess she's black.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it would work the same. Then you hired K Fox.
Yeah.
And then K Fox didn't work out. What happened with K?
Salute to K Fox. Super talented. Y'all didn't use her right on that show though.
That's probably it. That's
y'all
probably
y'all
it.
had her doing weather and time and
That's
temperature.
what they wanted me to do.
Rumor report.
There's a lot of there's a lot.
Flashing lights.
Look, we could go back and fix the whole thing that we didn't know at the time. You know what I'm saying? I went to Miami and begged K Fox to come on the radio. Like I went down there and talked to her in person. I was like, New York's your home. You should come back home. It just didn't click for some reason. Also, a lot of budget. Like K Fox got a little attitude. So mix
Why?
that.
Because she's a black woman?
I don't know why she has an attitude.
Don't try that.
Is this quicksand? I'm
He's trying you.
You ignored him. You're doing good.
K Fox. I love K Fox. Yeah, so it didn't work for some reason, but that's common. You say you got fired 4 times.
4 times.
But I know budgets came into play at one point, and even my pay got reduced. 1, I should have left at that point. 2, too loyal. But I know if I'm on a piece of paper and they're like, all right, let's get rid of some people, and they're like, nah, we love Cipha. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I lasted so long, even though, money got lessened and all that stuff. But they're like, no, let's figure out how to keep them. Because I'm a soldier like that. If you got an attitude with people, they'll be like, maybe we don't need this person, you know?
Gotcha.
Right.
But yeah.
Did you lose your love for radio?
I don't. It's different now. It's different now.
You look well rested.
I listen to breaks on the radio now, like on the weekend. Like this weekend, I was listening, and I usually don't listen to radio no more. And I was listening, and the time slot that made me famous, which was Cipha Saturdays, which was at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on a Saturday, the first mix show ever on a weekday in a weekend daytime slot. I basically invented that, and I listened to it over the weekend, and the break was like 8 seconds long, where I used to have 4 minutes to talk to the people, have fun, make jokes, play little interview parts and stuff. There's no personality now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a couple people who still got it, and then look what's happening. You guys got all the personality, and they put you on around the country. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not the same. Radio is sad, man. It's my whole career was made there, and it's sad now. But I'm on to TV now. I don't know if you guys know I have a TV
True
show.
TV, let's talk about that.
Laugh Mobs, Laugh Traps premiering Wednesday, January 3rd, 11 p.m. It's already on. Now I wanted to ask you, why did they make y'all look like doofuses on the TV show? It was like that was y'all role. Like they was playing y'all.
Yeah, that's that quicksand again.
How you mean?
Like they just made you two look like Tweedledum and Tweedledee. Like y'all.
Who's you two? What do you mean?
You and the guy I don't like.
So he's talking about
Explain the show.
What show you
It was
talking
a
about?
mock. He's talking about the mock.
Oh, he's talking about the VH1 show.
The mock reality show.
You gotta
He just
explain.
segued. Didn't talk about what he was talking
Hot
about.
97 TV show.
No, but I thought
I didn't hear you say Hot 97.
The other thing.
Oh,
my bad.
We're a little
yeah, I thought you were talking about Laugh Tracks.
My bad. Bad segue.
Laugh Tracks, I do not look like a doofus.
No.
Hot 97 show. Okay, that show, that's another, I'm glad you brought that up. That's another reason why I stayed.
Okay.
Right? Because I was going to leave. I'm the only one that didn't sign the contract to do that show. And I remember I was in London, and they would talk, they're like, yo, if you don't sign by Monday, you can't be on the show. And I was like, yeah, but this deal basically says you can't have any, they own your digital, they own all the rights, all this stuff. So I was like, I can't sign this.
Mona Scott contract.
Absolutely.
That's what that was.
But they used to dealing with, no disrespect to reality people, but nobodies who want to get on TV and then become somebodies or try to. We were already somebodies. So I was like, I'm not signing a reality star contract. I need a real deal. So anyway, we met the producer of that show, this guy named Ian Gelfand, and he was like, yo, we want to make it a mock reality show, and it's going to be funny.
Like Curb Your Enthusiasm-ish was the plan.
Yes. That's what it was supposed to be.
But nobody told anybody.
And you're a big fan of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I'm looking at it like I'm already doing my comedy thing. If I could be funny on this TV show, it could launch my comedy career. It didn't. But that was my train of thought. So here's what happened. They sold it as a comedy show.
Correct.
In the middle, the lady who bought it at VH1 either left or got fired. I don't know. In the middle of us taping, a new boss comes in, goes, we don't do comedy shows, we do reality shows. But we had already shot over half the episodes. So they edited them to try to make a reality show out of it. But we had already filmed, we were scripted. We had scripted shows, not like actual scripts, but like outlines of what we were going to do. And then they try to edit it to look like a reality show, and it just fell apart. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
But yeah, it just I liked some of the things I did, but then a lot of it got cut, and I'm still friends with the producer. He's a great guy. He just got caught in the nonsense.
Do you think the Breakfast Club really shook up what y'all was trying to do over there?
Yeah, of course. I mean, back then I looked at it like the old school radio competition where, like, you know, we spray paint on your street team van, you pop our tires, but then it got ugly in there somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
And you were never ugly, though. I would say Cipha never was.
I'm not an ugly person.
Right.
Cipha never got
it wasn't
nasty.
his thing. And I could never say anything bad about Cipha because we had a great relationship.
Yo, Angela Yee introduced me to my wife, yo. Like, there's nothing ever I could say about Angela Yee. I don't care what she does. Like, I'll never talk bad about her. Envy is someone I always looked up to, how he just, he made records. He DJ'd all these parties. He was on the morning show before me. Like, I don't know you that well back then, but I respected where you came from. You know what I'm saying? And how you did it. And also, I remember one time I texted you because you said some 5% stuff.
Yes.
And I hit you like, oh, I didn't know you was God Body.
Charlamagne the God?
It made sense after I said it.
Yeah.
But and then it got ugly, and I was like, I don't. Why? Let's just,
Right.
People started talking
didn't have
about
to
bringing
be
up
like that.
police and families, and like I was like, this is nasty, yo.
Was it almost true that I almost got y'all killed after you made the comments about Haitians and I gave you donkey of the day? Is that?
I don't. If you listen to Rosenberg, yes.
That's why I don't like him. But continue.
Yeah, that's why you don't like him.
No, that's a lot of reasons, but that's one.
That was the spark. Well, that's why he doesn't like you.
I just don't like him. I don't know why.
Yo, I made a mistake. I made a stupid joke on the air, and I apologize for it. I mean,
Let's
immediately.
read the joke.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Let's read the joke.
You ain't got to do that.
According to the Daily News in
Quicksand is
2010,
thick.
Cipha Sounds made a comment on the morning show on Hot 97 by saying, the reason I'm HIV negative is because I don't mess with Haitian girls.
It's just a bad thing to
Bad
say.
joke, yeah. But you know what's funny?
Nothing.
It's not funny. But that's actually what I said.
We know. We have the logger.
No. But the thing is, a lot of the things on the news was misquoted.
Got you.
So that's funny you say that, because I was not allowed to talk about what I really said. It doesn't make it better. The joke is horrible. But I'm saying, but I wanted to go and clear my name, and they were like, apologize, we move on. That joke was a horrible mistake and almost ended my career.
Really?
And yeah, I almost got fired. I was like on suspension for like a month.
Wow.
And was about to get fired. And luckily, I went and did all this due diligence with the Haitian community and explained myself. And, I made amends. You know what I'm saying?
You got this. Charlamagne the God added that his anger and disappointment toward the situation extends to Hot 97, who he believes did not punish the DJ enough for his comments. Hot 97 so-called suspended the guy during the holidays. He was going to be off anyway. They don't care about the people, so why do we care about them? Hip Hop DX.
Yeah, good job, Charlamagne. Now here's the deal. You don't know me personally, especially back then. You saw an opening to take out the competition. I respect that.
No, it was really me sticking up for Haitian people, because I got a lot of Haitian homies.
So do I.
And so does Cipha.
So do I, which is why.
That's what I'm saying, because you don't know him personally. Cipha definitely has a lot of Haitian.
So why would he make that comment?
It was an awful thing
It was
to
a
say.
stupid joke in the moment, because I forgot what even K Fox said, and she threw a condom at
She shouted
me.
out Wyclef.
No, why? Yeah, she did the reason why it blew up is because she did an event the night before
With Wyclef,
with the Wyclef
Yep.
sister and all these, the Haitian thing. But like, yo, the thing is, I spoke to after that, I had to go fix it. I spoke to the Haitian community, and I spoke to the Zoes in Miami prisons. You know what I'm saying? And I spoke to I can't say who, but he was like, nah, don't worry, we're gonna fix it, you good. I'm like, you gonna fix everything? Everything. Yeah, he's like, yeah, we gonna fix it. And I went to Haitian clubs after that. And, you know, people stepped to me, and I spoke to them.
Anybody step to you and go?
Don't laugh at that, Cipha. Don't do it.
Quicksand again. It's quicksand.
Don't do it.
That was quicksand. He just blew in my face. Nah, but yeah, I mean, I said something stupid, and I regret it. But
there you go.
I guess my final question about Hot 97. Did you ever like go cruising for trade with Mr. C?
And that's where the beef started. That right there.
Yeah.
The whole Mr.
Why?
C and Flex and then the morning show.
why do
That's
you
what all
care
started.
though? Why do you care?
It's just good. Listen, that was great content. You could at that time it's like there's no way that was not going to be Donkey of the Day material, and he did it 3 times.
Donkey of the Day is amazing the way you do it, but me personally, Luis Diaz always looks at the other side, and that could be my greatness or it could be my detriment. But imagine somebody going through that and how they must feel every day with, like, everyone has this, but everyone has like a thing that tortures them. You know what I'm saying? So I feel bad for people when something like that happens.
Right.
Also, yeah, we had a good laugh out of it. And then, I mean, talk about great radio when he was on the air crying about discovering things about himself that he didn't want to admit. You know what I'm saying? Like, amazing radio. But Mr. C's a friend of mine, mentor. Mr. C's the first hip-hop celebrity I ever met when I did like a college radio station. And he told me, yeah, just keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I love Mr. C. But I got my demons. You got yours. Everybody got demons. You know what I'm saying? And if we in the light, it gets shine on us. Mine, I got a food addiction. Like
A what?
Food addiction.
a food
Remember
addiction.
how big Cipha was? Cipha was big.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm in between where I was. But yeah, I learned. Look at it like this.
And I remember you used to be up all night because you had the studio in the house. You would go to
All
work
night,
in the morning,
yep.
work all day, work all night,
Still do that.
travel.
But that wasn't illegal. You wasn't getting arrested for that.
No, I never did nothing
He didn't
illegal. I
steal
won't
food.
ever go to jail. Never
But
go to
then you
jail.
lost a lot of weight,
Yeah,
and then you gained it back.
some of it.
Some of it back.
I'm like halfway.
Right. So
But I learned,
Are
okay,
you still addicted to food like that?
bad. But there's the thing,
what kind
I
of
just
food?
learned.
Twinkies, donuts, cookies, or
All
chicken,
that.
like
Like,
Snacks.
okay, here's what made me realize, right? I lost all the weight and then started gaining it back. And I was like, why am I gaining it back? So I had to dig deeper, right? I also did mental health stuff. I did improv comedy, which for some reason opened up my brain. So food addiction is one of the hardest addictions because you can't just let it go.
Right.
Like if you're a drug addict or alcoholic, the trick is to never touch alcohol or drugs again,
correct.
and you can still live your life. You have to eat food. You know what I'm saying? So like I started realizing all the things. I started doing research. I go to like Overeaters Anonymous type stuff, and like I really had to like stop laughing, yo.
Why are you laughing at
See,
that shit, man?
that's the problem. That's the problem.
So you can't make fun of people who are big and overweight.
This room ain't shit.
Yeah.
I want you to know
No,
that.
all of you,
guy in the back. Go ahead.
all of you
Sorry.
ain't shit, man.
He's crazy.
But yo, listen, if you don't let his Snickers. Who is that guy anyway?
I'm easy.
He's a Haitian. So he's really
that's
mad.
why he's laughing?
Yeah. He might still have some dust from 2012 for you. You better be careful.
That's him easy. He does weekends and all.
Man.
But go
That's
ahead.
him easy.
Yeah, I'm easy. Yeah.
Oh, come on, stop laughing at me.
All right, so
No, but people who got food
Overweight
addictions,
Anonymous.
yeah, it's really
Overeaters,
sad
not
because
overweight.
it's a problem. Food problems, food addictions, and eating disorders are always laughed at by you sons of bitches.
See?
But yeah, it's a big problem, and it's something I want to help people with.
So
I
is
want to
it-
get myself right first.
Is it the type of food or is it just the quantity? Like, what is it? Because you could be a vegetarian and eat a whole bunch of vegan food, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I know a lot of fat vegetarians
Yeah, I eat
because
a lot of carbs.
you eat
Like
fries
right.
and pizza. You know what I'm saying? That don't make you healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't care how much you go to the gym. It's what you eat that handles your weight. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So that's why I'm on back on my 40-day reset now. But it's hard. Like the holidays make it hard. Traveling makes it hard. Like I'm on these long flights.
Right.
You grab a sandwich and some M&Ms because you don't want to be hungry. You know, you can't get you can't cut up a cucumber or some spinach when you're on a plane, you know?
It's all about
I
options,
agree with you
though.
on that because a lot of people will make fun of people and say, oh, they're just fat because they eat too much, but they don't understand that there are like mental and psychological and physical things that might contribute to why you overeat.
Yeah, like if you look online and be like, am I considered a
fat ass?
Yeah, fat ass. Compulsive overeater. If you answer 3 of the questions yes, and there's like 10 questions, I answered like 9 of them yes.
Wow. Damn.
And I was like, okay, I got to work on this. But the thing is, everything I've ever wanted, I got in my life. So this is the next thing I'm trying to tackle.
I think that's great because even you doing stand-up comedy, when I first met Cipha, I remember you were very socially awkward. You didn't like going out.
But you dealt with depression and like anxiety and stuff, right? I mean, I deal with anxiety.
He didn't like.
He still is a little awkward.
Do you guys mind if I finish my thought? He didn't like having to speak to people in public.
True.
Whenever we would go places, he had like a real issue with that.
Why are you making it sound like he's a terrible person? I've always heard good things about you. I don't know what Angela is.
No, but she's right. She knows the inside scoop.
I know him very well. He used to be like, he was awkward.
Like do I have to go there? Yeah.
And it was a real issue that you had to, and all those things might be tied in together.
Yeah, but I tackled all that stuff. I went to therapy for years and years. And then improv comedy helped me out a lot. Yep.
I'm going to therapy now for anxiety.
You go to therapy?
Yeah. Anxiety.
I'm proud of you.
Because anxiety is like it's just like irrational fears. But I be having irrational fears. Like shit that I don't think will ever happen. Like nuclear bombs are going to blow up New York. I'm not getting on the train.
You lose sleep because of it?
Yes.
Or you get worried because of it? Yeah, you got to fix that.
Like regular, like super irrational fears.
Irrational.
Now let's talk about your comedy. Now you started doing stand-up.
Yeah, let's do this.
Now how did the stand-up go? What was? I seen a video this morning of Steve Brown. He was doing comedy in South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
Somebody jumped on stage.
Yeah.
What was your worst experience doing comedy?
I never had nothing like that. But comedy is just built on bad experiences. Here's the thing: as a DJ, which you can relate to. I realized DJing and comedy is very similar because you gotta read a room. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get the vibe of the room. Did the guy before me just play all the hits?
Right.
Do I gotta set this mood up, restart, a lot of energy, or should I come in light energy? So that's why I was able to start comedy quickly because I had all that talent. But in the beginning, I would bomb horrifically, yo. Like horrible, and I wouldn't go on stage for 3 months. It took me a long time to start because it's just a horrible feeling. Like people boo you.
What was your worst show?
I don't have any one worst show, but like in those first couple years, I used to do this spot called the Laugh Lounge, Lower East Side, and people would just like you could hear like people eating that fry, like you know the paper that's in the plate under the wings. That's like.
Now I'm gonna be honest, you got fat man ears because I've never heard that in my life. I've never heard nobody even describe that. Like,
but you never bombed. That's why.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like.
But you know what you did that was good is you did your own comedy night.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that used to be so poppin'. Everybody would come out to that.
Could you please? Oh, I'm sorry.
Let her praise me.
Yeah. So he created his own comedy night where you would get some of the top comedians to come out.
Yep.
And you had a DJ, and that was actually more of a safe space because everybody knew you.
Yeah.
So they would come out and you could tell jokes, and it was like, okay, you got some sympathy laughs sometimes.
Got a couple,
sometimes it was really, really funny. But that was actually a great idea. That was like
that's what started my
night.
That was the April. Was that the April Fool's?
No, this
was
this was at Comics.
It was a monthly.
Once a month, I did a show.
I think
but you used to do the April Fool's comedy thing too, right?
Yeah.
You know, one of the greatest moments ever for me that I laughed at so much.
Wasn't you?
Was at one of those shows.
I know what it is.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
And that's our guy. I love Damien.
Horrible.
But that was hilarious.
Now explain to the people, they don't know.
I want to know what you thought when you was there that night.
My heart dropped.
Damien Lemon basically bombed at the show.
Now, I'm from South Carolina.
Yeah.
So I grew up watching Apollo and shit like that. So when you think of New York, you think of those tough crowds.
Yeah.
I've never seen a real live New York angry, menacing, tough. One dude yelled out, "Keep digging your grave, nigga! Keep digging your grave!"
Yo, if you don't know what he's talking about, Damien Lemon went on stage at the theater at Madison Square Garden and got booed for like 8 minutes straight.
Crazy.
But I felt, one, as a comedian, he stuck through it. And then here's what happened. He said a joke. He got low energy, right? He's a low energy comic.
Hilarious.
Very funny. Well, funny thing is, what I like about Damien Lemon, he started off in the music in the music game, and he started doing comedy around the same time I did. So I always looked at him like, yeah, let's get this comedy money. And he got a show on True TV also.
Yep.
And then, so he went out there, he got low energy. Them type of crowds, April Fool's Day, is super, like, you got to go
Energy,
high energy. It's a black crowd. And that's why a lot of artists come out, a lot of comedians come out to a song, let the song rock, and then they jump right into the material. It's like a trick you got to do. So he comes out low energy, starts getting booed. And then, who was the woman that stuck up for him?
His grandma,
His
right?
grandma, was his grandmother?
No, but there's another comedian.
Oh.
I forgot her name. It's with an A. No. She was on The View. Who's the comedian?
Cheryl Underwood? The View.
No, the other one. No.
The Talk?
Maybe The Talk.
Cheryl Underwood's on The Talk.
Not the Cheryl Underwood. Another one. Something like that. Cheryl something or...
Cheryl Shepherd.
Yes.
Sherry
Sherry Shepherd.
Shepherd.
She stood up and she was like, let him do his thing. Something like that. I was like,
That's even
this
worse.
is crazy. So then what happens, especially in the hood, the dude in the back who first started booing, people were laughing at him. So he caught the little bug off of it and wanted to get more attention. So then he said something again, then they started booing him. The second boos were not real. They were just that guy, you know,
Being louder.
going loud and making it funny. So to the audience, they were having a fun time. To Damian Lemon, it was a horrible time.
Right.
But yo,
They would say, my grandma's here. Fuck your grandma. I'm like, oh, shit.
but did he go back up the next day?
Listen, Dame is hilarious.
Yeah,
Came up
man.
there and talked about
Yeah,
it.
that's my guy.
You gotta go just go up the next day, yo. And that comedy
Not you though. 3 months later.
is a lot to not that was back then. Now I don't care. But that's what like comedy's like life, man. Like, yo, get back on that horse, man. Is this your mission? Is this your goal? Get up there.
So tell us about Laugh Mob's Laugh Tracks. That's going to be on. That's on True TV
I'm so
right
happy
now.
you asked.
All right, well, Cipha Sound, we appreciate you.
Yo, Laugh Mob's Laugh Tracks is a show Bob Sumner created, one of the creators.
Bob.
You know, Bob Sumner is one of
That's my guy.
the guy who found all the comedians for Def Comedy Jam. Legend in the game. We take stand-up comedy. We take like a guy like Mark Vieira, who I think should have been a star years ago, and they tell these jokes, but their jokes are almost like stories. So then they shoot these recreations. So while a comedian's telling the joke, it cuts to like a sketch, kind of like a thing where they're lip syncing the joke. So it's like a music video for a joke.
Okay.
So think of a joke as a song, and this is the music video for that. So I mean, it's doing extremely well. True TV's my new family. Don't Do Me Dirty. Thank you.
Nah, they're good people over there. My
Great
homegirl
people.
over there. I actually pitched a show that was
You be
similar.
loyal to them.
I pitched a show that was similar to Laugh Mob before I knew Laugh Mob was coming.
What do you mean?
And they was like, well, Cypher's coming with Laugh Mob.
What show you pitched?
Uh-oh.
I'll tell you after the
up
show.
there?
Yeah. But it was similar. But not with the joke part, though, but the storytelling part. The turning,
Right.
the reenactment part.
Stories, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
good thing.
congratulations to
Thank you
Cipha
so
Sounds.
much,
I
man.
love the evolution of Cipha Sounds, and I love
Thank
the
you.
fact that you are doing what you wanted to do,
Absolutely.
which is stand-up comedy, and now you have television.
Yeah.
And you're
I got a
happy.
bunch of other shows I'm pitching. I got another show on True TV called Rappers and Rides Running Errands. That's coming out in the summer.
That's dope.
I had my improv show, Take It Personal, very close to being
Greenlit.
picked up. Yeah, greenlit, but it was through the Weinstein Company. So it went a little. We're finding out what's happening. It's on
Damn it,
hold
man.
right now.
Nope, it's a done.
You can't do it, Cipha.
No,
You
not
can't do it.
I
Not
had
with
a show
him.
there too. Oh, okay.
I had it
yeah.
with Hove. Hove was doing it with me. His
Yeah, he
deal
had
was
the
through
deal.
the Weinstein, so we're seeing what happens with that. But
We got so much in common that you have no idea about.
I do know. I
okay.
study you.
All right.
I study how you roll, and you kept me out of MTV for some reason.
No, I didn't.
You hated on me, and they don't let me do anything at MTV.
Really?
I did.
Is that wait? Did you do that?
No.
Wait, I want to know the truth.
No.
Why does MTV hate me?
I don't know.
It has to be you.
It might be.
Wasn't you at Sucker Free for a while?
Yeah, he was
Before
sucker
that, I mean, after that, since you came around, is
might
it you?
be.
I mean, if you can have me, why have you? I'm just saying. I'm just saying you asked. I don't know.
Nah,
I'm just
man.
fucking with you. Cypher.
I'm having a great time, man. I appreciate any fan, any follower, anybody that takes a picture of my billboard on the subway and sends it to me. I really appreciate it, man. I'm just a guy from the Bronx that's trying to make a life for himself, man. So thank y'all so much for having me.
I do want to ask you one thing because we didn't ask about this. What is
Please.
the relationship with Jay-Z? Because you mentioned him a couple times.
love
with
Jay.
Rihanna, Ross, like.
I know Jay since 97.
And you have an office in the Rock Nation.
Not no more. I
you
left
did.
the office. I was working for Tidal. That's why I had an office there. But Jay, I know Jay since, I mean, I was on Little Kim's DJ. We went to London, and Jay's DJ, I think it was Clark Kent, had a problem at immigration, couldn't get in. So Dame asked me to DJ for Jay at this huge festival in London. And ever since then, we've been super tight. Angela's tight with him more, I think, but like he hired me. I brought Rihanna there. I tried to bring Damian Marley there. Then he hired me as an A&R for Rock La Familia. True Life was my artist. Nori, we had the biggest reggaeton song of all time, which Oye Mi Canto.
Featuring Nina Sky, yeah?
Yeah, featuring Nina Sky. You're welcome.
Wasn't Nina Sky your artist too?
Yeah, Nina Sky was my artist, yep. That's me trying to, instead of giving it to other people, trying to do it for myself.
Yeah.
Biggest, #1 hit. So the Hove always like, then when I was leaving Hot, he signed me to Rock Nation as management. We was trying to do this TV thing. He gave me a job at Tidal. Shout to OG Juan, shout to Dez. It's just my family, yo. They're just a great family.
And why didn't Damian Marley work out?
What's funny? I just talked about it because I went to SNL when Jay was there and he had Damian Marley. They did the song together.
Bam.
And I was like, yo, I just I forgot. I was like, I introduced y'all to. And they were like, what? When? I said, remember I brought you Welcome to Jamrock because it was around Rihanna, Welcome to Jamrock, and one other
Yep, you did
thing.
Welcome to Jamrock.
Yep, and I tried to bring it there, and the Marley family shut it down. The Marley family was like, you're a Marley. You don't sign to rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like, back then. Like, and now look, now he's partners at Rock Nation. Like, now Damian's on Rock Nation. But I did a lot of things, man.
Start giving Cipha his credit, man.
That's right. And I always say one last thing with Cipha is the reason why I even got the job, because I was on probation working on the morning show with Cipha on the Cipha Sounds Effect, was because of the Jay-Z interview that we had.
You was on probation?
Yeah, I wasn't hired. They were like auditioning
Probationary
me.
period.
Where?
At Sirius, at Shade 45 with you. They hadn't hired. I wasn't even getting paid at first.
Really?
Yeah, they wanted to like.
I was getting paid a
me.
lot of money back then.
Yes, you were. I was not. And then we had that interview with Jay-Z where we had to stay late and do that with him and Bleak and Chris. And that's when I got hired after that interview.
Really? That's why you was going so hard on that interview.
I wasn't going hard.
Wait, didn't you talk about your hair catching on fire?
Yeah, we talked about
and
all
Jay-Z
of that.
saving you?
Yeah, we talked about him battling Jizza as a
yes.
rapper. And we talked about a lot of things. And after that interview, I walked out and they were like, okay, you're hired.
Wow. Congrats.
You didn't know I wasn't getting paid, but I was working like I was getting paid, which
you
is a lesson.
Were. Yo, Angela taught me about Twitter. She taught me how to I can't say that, but she taught me how to twerk.
Twerk? What? What happened?
Guys, we gotta go. It's been enough.
All right.
It's been enough.
Well, if you want to see Cipha Sounds twerking, you get his next show. Now we appreciate you for joining us.
Wednesdays, 11 o'clock, and then a whole bunch of other reruns. Man, please watch the show. A lot of young comedians making their name on the show, and a lot of dope actors that are in the recreation. Shout out to True TV, and thank y'all for having me.
Give Cipha Sounds his credit.
How do
man.
I get my credit? Let's talk off the air.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.